But first, yesterday's exclusive story from News Corp journalist Samantha Maiden about that leaked message from the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff to the office. This was the message you might recall, updating the team about the impending arrival of Labor campaign stalwart David Epstein, and it included that line which everyone has since gone troppo about as we enter the election year. Now, take it from someone who's written those sorts of emails in that very office before, I'd recommend a Bex and a lie down before anyone gets too excited. Now, the first thing is that the PM's Chief of Staff will always have his or her eye on the next election. No surprises here, particularly when I remind you that Tim Gartrell, who is Anthony Albanese's man in the job at present, also ran Labor's hugely successful Kevin 07 campaign when he was then Labor's National Campaign Director. That Gartrell is focused on what they need to do to win and amassing the personnel with the experience to achieve that should be expected. Indeed, I'd be the first to be critical of Gartrell if he wasn't. The second thing that struck me about this leaked message is how much some in the media took this as confirmation that there will be an early election and that it will be called before the end of this year. Sure, there could be an early election, but it's just as likely they'll run into next year, given the government has until May next year to hold a federal election. They're not way out in the polls, and as history has shown, Australians don't like early elections anyway, least of all from a first-term government. But the most important thing I want to impress upon you tonight, despite the fevered speculation, is that anyone who knows that Labor are about to call election or says they know Labor's election timing, well, they don't know. That's because not even the Prime Minister or the new campaign director in Gartrell's old seat, they don't even know when the campaign will be. That's right. Not even the Prime Minister knows now when the next election will be. And the reason he doesn't know is because it hasn't been decided. Now, that sounds simple enough when you say it like that, but believe me, calling an election involves a huge number of moving parts that most people in the media never fully appreciate. It involves a whole lot of things that you need to fall into alignment, an enormous number of things that have to be considered. And the work on all of that's done over months, not days, such as, does polling day hit a spawning final? Are we campaigning in winter? Where are the school holidays in all of this? Are all the party pre-selections completed? How much money's in the can? Where's the legislative agenda up to? What's the likelihood of interest rate hikes or falls? And on it goes. Now, critically, and so few people even mention this one, the question of where the Electoral Commission is up to on its program of boundary redistributions, because it's hard to have an election without the boundaries of the new seats being drawn, isn't it? Now, I come at all of this with my own personal experience, as you know, but I should also declare that my husband, Brian Loughnane, was the Liberal Party's National Campaign Director for 14 years. He ran 4 federal elections, 2 for John Howard, starting in 2004, and 2 for Tony Abbott, finishing up with Abbott's landslide win in 2013. And as he always said, you prepare day and night for the next election, and that work starts the day after the last one. But you call it, he said, and remember this, you call it when you think you can win. And that's exactly what Albanese, Gartrell and the Labor machine are doing, preparing day and night to give the PM the flexibility and firepower to call it when he thinks he can win. This year or next year, well, that's not even in contemplation yet. It's about how well they're travelling in Labor's internal polling. And as we know, this all has a long way still to play out.